Hi guys, this is going to be a little different from some of the videos I've put up on my channel. This is very bizarre. This is an incident that occurred right after the condo collapse in Miami. Um, Very strange things are happening with one of the families, um, and I'm going to get ready. I'm getting ready to play this in a second here, but before I do, um, nobody can explain what's happening here. Okay, um, of course, everybody knows everything is collapsed to the ground. That part of the condo. Okay, um, I've been trying to think of a perfectly logical explanation, okay, of why this is occurring, and I can't. And what's occurring is this family is getting numerous phone calls from their grandparents' landline that no longer exists. Okay, um, I have a theory, and I'd like to share it with you guys. And in the comment section, just tell me what you think. Okay, I'm just putting it out there. I think this event did not occur on another timeline. The grandparents are still very much alive. They're trying to make phone calls, okay, trying to get to their family members, okay, and the calls are not on this timeline. They're not. There's nothing there, so that's why it's repeatedly getting. They're getting calls, and there's nobody there. Okay. Somehow, some way, if they're still alive, and this is being done, just maybe the timeline split. Okay, and somehow they're getting calls from the other timeline. Um, this is really crazy. That's why I'd like to just put this up and see what everybody thinks. Get your input. All right. Uh, this is something that has occurred before. Now I don't know whether you guys know about Mr. Andrew Basiago. Okay. Um, he is a practicing attorney. He lives in the Washington state area. I don't know what part of Washington he lives in, but he's a real attorney. He's had there's no bad reviews on him. Nobody's ever come forward to say he's a phony or anything. But he was in a program called Project Pegasus, and make a long story short about him, I don't want to go into the whole thing. You guys can look him up, but he actually was on a different timeline. Okay, he was experimenting with time travel, teleportation with the government, and somehow, some way, quantum fields. They're very. It's all bets are off. That's all I mean. It's just crazy. He called his mother, okay, on one timeline, and he actually said who he was. He made an attempt. I believe that you can listen to the story. In fact, if I find the exact audio, I can put it on my channel. But she said, "This can't be my son because he's playing downstairs in the basement." He was a little boy. Okay, so the timelines crossed at that point. Don't ask me how it works. I'm not even going to make an attempt to explain how all this is working because I don't want to look foolish, trying to make like I sound like I know what I'm talking about with that. He would be a lot better of a person to talk to with things like this. But getting back to this story, I really don't see how there is any other logical explanation. There's no connection. Okay, the grandparents still have never been found yet. I believe they're up to 24 as this was on the a few days after. I believe 3 days later. Um, Now, what's really going to be crazy in the months to come, we may never find out until this fall, but what if his grandparents were never found? What if they can't get their DNA? They're just gone. They like disappeared. That's what I'm expecting, okay? But this has got to be the case. They're trying to reach out. Okay, I mean, none of us know how all this works completely, but I'm going to play it, and hopefully I won't get a copyright strike, because the videos are going to be gone long already. I know this is going to take 3 hours to upload, but hopefully I don't. I need to play it, most of it in its entirety, for you to get the context of what's happening. So here goes.
Still 159 people unaccounted for, and 4 have been confirmed dead.
And to those who know and love them, they are much more than just a number. These are just some of the faces on our monitor right there. Local 10 News reporter Sanela Sabovic spoke with the family of one couple who live in the Champlain Tower, and she joins us live with much more on that. Sanela.
So many families looking for their loved ones. It has been 3 long, agonizing, heartbreaking days. Can you imagine not hearing from those closest to you? Well, we spoke to one young man who is searching for his grandparents, Arnie and Miriam Notkin. They lived on a 3rd floor unit on the portion of the condo that did collapse. Now, he says that while he hasn't physically spoken to his grandparents, their landline that rests right next to their bed has been repeatedly calling a family member. I'm not talking about once or twice. This is 16 phone calls at this point. With every gut-wrenching call, they are wondering what is going on.
We were always really close growing up.
Jake Samuelson is talking about his grandparents, Arnie and Miriam Notkin, who are very involved in the community. Arnie was a PE teacher and coach, Miriam a banker and real estate agent. The Notkins live in apartment 302, Champlain Tower South condo, the part that collapsed. Jake's family is still waiting to hear from them. Or are they hearing from them? Jake says his mother's house line has been receiving calls from the Notkins home line, and this is what they hear on the other end of it. Voicemails with static, no human sound on the other end. The families received a total of 16 calls. The first came in the day the condo collapsed on Thursday, June 24th at around 9:50 p.m. Jake describes what his family felt when they received that call.
We were all sitting there in the living room, my whole family, Diane, my mother, and we were just shocked, and we kind of thought nothing of it because we answered it was static.
Then when they went to the reunification center Friday morning, more calls. 15 to be exact. With every call, it is gut-wrenching.
We're just trying to rationalize what's happening here, and we're just trying to get answers.
So many families trying to get answers, including the LaFonts. Adriana LaFont says her ex-husband Manuel hasn't been heard from since the condo collapsed. Mike Stratton is searching for his wife Cassandra. The two have been married since 2015. He was actually on the phone with her before the line went dead. He is thankful to the first responders working around the clock and says Cassandra is a wife, mother, and true friend to many. Just so heartbreaking. And back to the Notkin family, Jake tells me the last phone call they received was last night. No phone calls at all today. We even tried calling that number. All you hear is a busy tone. So they're asking the community, they're asking others that are also looking for their loved ones if this is happening to them, because at this point, they're simply searching for answers. They want closure.
Okay, guys, there it is. There's been so many things that have happened in this timeline that you all know never happened. We know events take place in one timeline that doesn't in another. The one that I know of that's stands out the most is the Black Time event. The Black Time event was something that occurred in World War I that involved the Germans. They set off some kind of bomb or something miles from New York Harbor, all right, and the Statue of Liberty was damaged, buildings and everything like that. So here's the thing: when 9/11 happened, there wasn't one single solitary news media outlet that said, "Oh, this is only the second time we've ever been attacked on our homeland," or they said they only said Pearl Harbor. That was it. They said since Pearl Harbor, and that was in Hawaii, okay, which is still a part of the United States, but it's not the continental United States, okay. But that was it. Nobody ever mentioned this event. Certainly they would have, if the Statue of Liberty was damaged, they certainly would have had to mention it, but they didn't. So we know that there's things that occur on one that don't occur on the other. I don't know how this works, like I said, but I'm still trying to find out. I'm trying to construct a book, by the way. I'm trying to write a book about all this, and I'm making some headway. But the thing is that this is occurring, and I can't think of any other logical explanation for this. There's no way. How in the world can this be happening? There's no connection. This entire building has collapsed. Nothing is working. Nothing. How could a phone be working when it's crushed? Everything is crushed. There's no connection. Think about this logically, you guys. You know, I was embarrassed at the when I was looking through the comment section on this particular video. The dumb things that people were saying about how it can happen, and there is no way. We have to accept this is probably a timeline shift occurring here, some kind of way. Perhaps the only person that could possibly try to explain something like this would be Andrew Basiago. I don't know. But let me know what you think in the comment section. And I'll be back again with something else soon. Y'all are going to like what I have next coming up. It's about the ringing in the ear and the Mandela effect when it started back in 2016. It involves the pyramids in Egypt too, and teleportation. Until next time, thanks.